Hey everybody, Motumbo here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are playing some more Historic here on Magic Arena, and we are revisiting another deck because the last time that we were actually able to play this deck, we did not have access to some pretty cool cards, some new cards, as well as some reprints. So we really want to explore to see if those cards are going to really add to this deck. But as always, before we hop into today's deck, I want to remind everybody, if you enjoy the deck and the channel and the video, please like, comment, subscribe, check out all those cool links down below, join the Discord, and again, anything you could do to help interact with the crazy YouTube algorithm that everybody talks about, please do so. Again, all those options are free, so it just takes you a second to like and comment. So that being said, let's hop right into today's deck, and we are playing what I am calling Return of the Titan. So we are playing essentially not necessarily an infinite turns deck, but a deck where we can actually loop turns, enough of them together where we can actually just take enough turns, deal enough damage in a row to win the game. So the Titan that we are speaking of is going to be Vadrok, Apex of Thunder. He is definitely a Titan when you actually look at the actual name of the card, but for right now, Vadrok is what we are playing. So Vadrok is a 3-mana 3/3. It is one of the cards with Mutate, and it says that when it mutates, it's got flying and first strike, but it says whenever this creature mutates, you may cast target non-creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. So every card in our deck, obviously besides land, is actually going to cost 3 or less. So we're going to be able to take advantage of this and cast any card in our deck, essentially, that happens to have been put in the graveyard, whether or not we've cast it, it's been discarded, countered, milled, whatever, we're going to be playing it for free. So we are just, like I said, we're going to take advantage of that, and we are going to loop turns with Chance for Glory. So Chance for Glory is actually a really cool extra turn spell. One, in the fact that it's not your typical extra turn spell, because like with the other blue ones, there's really no drawback to them. You're basically, most likely with a blue extra turn spell, you're just going to get the extra turn, and then sometimes you get extra benefits, whether it's you get some bird tokens, or maybe you get to bounce something, or the spell gets to reshuffle. Like, there's just so many crazy blue extra turn spells. I mean, they really need to stop reprinting them. But Chance for Glory here is actually a pretty balanced card when it when you really think about it. So it is 3 mana, so it is a little undercosted, but it does have a drawback. So let's read what this says. So it says creatures you control gain indestructible. Take an extra turn after this one. At the beginning of that turn's end step, you lose the game. So it is, with this being an instant, you do get an extra turn and you do lose the game at the end of that turn. However, there is one additional thing here. It gives all of your creatures indestructible. It does not give all of your creatures indestructible until end of turn. It gives all of your creatures indestructible permanently. So that is very important to note. So once we start potentially starting to do our loop of taking turns, then all of our creatures in play are going to be indestructible. They're going to be really hard to deal with. So it just makes this easier. So that is actually a benefit that we're looking to use towards our advantage. But we lose the turn, or we lose the game at the end of the turn with Chance for Glory. So how do we loop it without losing the game? Well, I'm glad that you asked, and that is with our friend Gideon of the Trials. So 3 mana, Planeswalker, 3 loyalty. For +1, we get to prevent damage that any permanent would deal. Really, really good. For 0, we get to turn him into a 4/4 indestructible that can attack. Really, really good. But the main thing that one of the main things we're going to be doing is we land this, and then we do the bottom 0, and it says you get an emblem that says, as long as you control a Gideon Planeswalker, you can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win. So that is going to allow us to not lose the game at the end of our extra turns with Chance for Glory. Going to prevent our opponents from winning, potentially. And then Gideon of the Trials is actually just going to get the job done itself. He's going to swing in for 4 every turn once we've really established maybe our lock or just really good board presence. So that is how we are going to do it. So how else are we going to do this? Well, we do have one other mutate card in the form of Lore Drakkis. So 3 mana 2/3 mutates for 2 as opposed to Vadrok mutating for 4. But Lore Drakkis mutating for 2. It says whenever this creature mutates, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. So we're basically playing mostly instants and sorceries. This does not do the same thing that Vadrok does. Vadrok just lets us cast any spell that costs 3 or less for free from our graveyard. Lore Drakkis is going to return one of those spells to our hand, allowing us to potentially recast it. We do have to pay the mana at that point. And notably, this does not allow us to get creatures back like potentially Vadrok can, and it does not allow us to get Gideon back like Vadrok. So yeah, but still really good. So let's hit on one other card here before we hit on the other cards that we have not actually got to play yet. So Dreadhorde Arcanist, this card is insane in this deck for multiple reasons. So Dreadhorde Arcanist, I'm sure you've seen in all different kinds of decks. It's a 2 mana 1/3 with trample. Whenever it attacks, you get to cast an instant or sorcery card that has mana value less than or equal to its power from your graveyard. So typically he's a 1/3, but if you're able to pump him, if you're able to pump the Dreadhorde Arcanist, you can potentially cast more expensive spells. So what we're really just trying to do here is potentially maybe cast an opt and then attack, cast the opt again for free. That doesn't seem too broken. However, now let's talk about the fact. So Zombie Wizard, it is not a human. So we can mutate Vadrok and Lord Drakkis onto the Dreadhorde Arcanist, pumping his power, still giving him this ability, and then we're able to actually cast basically all of our instant sorcery for free, because he's going to have either a 2 or a 3 power. So it's really, really going to go crazy. So being able to cast, again, any of our instant sorceries because we either have a 2 or a 3 power is going to be really insane. So let's talk about the 2 cards that I really, really wanted to highlight in this deck. So again, the last time we played this deck, we didn't have access to these cards. So we're going to give these a shot. And I really think that these cards actually make this deck pretty insane. So one of which is being Lightning Helix. We're already in a Jeskai shell anyway. Lightning Helix is going to just give us removal. It's going to give us life gain. It's going to allow us to, stop all the crazy bleeding, get some of the faster aggro decks, and actually just let us set up our combo that we're trying to do. So this is going to be really good, especially when we're able to recast it from our graveyard for free, or even just return it to our hand and then recast it that way. And the other card that I really want to give it a shot is going to be the Static Discharge. So this is one of the new cards that is digital only. It's from the Jumpstart Historic Horizons. 2 mana. It is a sorcery. It deals X damage to any target where X is 3 plus the number of charge counters on it. Then you put a perpetual counter on it. Again, that's a digital only mechanic. And then on this card, and each card named Static Discharge in your hand, library, or graveyard. So basically this says that every time you cast Static Discharge, it's going to get this virtual counter that goes on it, and the damage is going to tick up for 1 every time it's cast, and that goes for every copy of Static Discharge in your deck. So we're going to be casting this for 3 the first time, 4 the second time, 5 the second time, 5 the next time, 6, 7, etc., etc. So when we're able to start casting it for free with Vadrok from our graveyard or returning it, it's just going to perpetually, again, keyword perpetual, it's going to just get bigger and bigger. It's going to be dealing more and more damage. It's going to be able to clear the way. It's going to be able to tick down our opponent even faster. I really think that this card is potentially going to put us over the top, and I really think it has really, really great synergy with Lore Drakkis and Vadrok. So being able to cast this and just deal a whole bunch of damage, we could potentially maybe even kill an opponent from a very, very high life total because we've cast this so many times. So I really think it's great. And then last but not least, we do have 4 copies of Pact and Negation. Pact and Negation is a great card. Typically though, if you don't know, it's a 0 mana cost counterspell, but it does say at the beginning of your upkeep you have to pay 5 mana, and if you don't, you lose the game. And again, we're playing this because we are hoping to have a Gideon in play with the emblem, and then we're just able to fire off free counter spells and then not worry about what our opponents do. This is the deck, Return to the Titan. We are playing 24 land. It might be a little high of a land count for, topping off at 3 mana, but I do think that we do need to be making sure that we hit our land, especially since we are playing multiple colors in the form of Jeskai. So we're playing a ton of pathways, we're playing some shocks, and we're playing a triome. So this is going to be the deck. We're going to run it through the gauntlet here again, see what we can do. Hopefully it performs as well as it did last time. But yeah, so let's go. Let's hop into the games. We will talk about it wrap up. All right. Let's see how well Vadrok returns here. Been a while since we played some extra turn decks. And what better way of playing one than taking advantage of some pretty cool abilities. So, all right, well, we're just going to go ahead and get down this Arcanist. It doesn't really do much. We do need to be able to mutate onto it to actually take advantage of what's going on, but right. Hey, you want to boom boom? All right, so. Oh, okay. Actually, Opt was actually pretty sweet. So we're going to shock this into play. We are going to kill our friend, the Sprite Dragon. We're going to Opt. Gideon is a pretty sweet draw. Then we are going to Opt again. Into, do we want to land? I think we do. So we potentially get to take another turn next turn, not lose out. Pretty good. And then we'll have a counterspell backup. Really depends on what our opponent is. Stormwing Entity. 100% okay with that. So I'd really actually like to draw land. Okay, perfect. So we get to, I think what we're going to do is we are going to attack first and see how they block. They'll probably take it. Oh, no, they don't. They do not care. That was a huge draw as well. So we are going to play Gideon. Gideon is going to give us an emblem to prevent us from losing the game. We have to kill this right now. We don't want that going all kinds of crazy. We're going to attack in. And we're good. We've lived through the extra turn, and we have a Pact Negation backup. Right. Lore Drakkis is going to get... Yep. Go ahead and counter that. We're going to decline, because obviously we don't have to pay. I meant to actually attack there. We have messed up. So, let's do this. Let's take another turn. Keep this in our hand. All right, so let's actually do what we meant to do. Let's get in. Let's... That's a big chunk of life right there, right? So if we get to attack with the Lore Drakkis, it actually should be lethal, because this is going to deal 3+3. So yeah, so just by casting... Or just by attacking with the Lore Drakkis. Remember, this is indestructible, so they can't burn it out. They might be trying to get some delirium. What do they need? Creature, instant, sorcery land. Okay. So maybe they try to go for a burn spell on the Lore Drakkis and then forget. No. Okay. Oh, okay. Game's over. Game.
Better than I expected.
Better. Yep, six to the dome, and again we should have won, I believe, a turn earlier if we would have attacked correctly. We would have dealt an extra 4 damage with the Gideon, as well as mutating our Lore Drakkis onto our creature. But because we got super excited and just clicked really quickly, we kind of messed that up. So yeah, I'm sure I'll immediately comments about what I could have done game 1. But you know what? We're just going to correct our mistakes. Go to game 2. See what happens. All right, let's get into quick game 2. Let's hydrate. Lamo is my name-o. Interesting. We go first. This is a lot of damage. We're gonna keep this and see how this plays out. I don't think this is gonna play out very well, but we are gonna give it a shot. Sure. All right, so we're gonna kill this now. This turns off a lot of plays. Beautiful. For land, really want this. I think we have to keep this. I think we have to keep that. Okie doke. They are just on the straight burn plan. A land here does a lot for us. Yeah, if they have a light up the stage, okay, well, we did not draw land. It's a little awkward. I bet opponent is also playing lightning helixes. Okay, we're at 12. And that's good. We want them to be using all of their burn spells. Get them out of the way. Sure. Sure. All right, so they are tapped out, so we are gonna go for this now. Okay. 3 mana light up the stage. Pretty good. So if they want to go ping at Gideon, we have a pact negation to kind of end that. Okay, so they're just going to go at us. Sure. Oh, yeah, I think they knew the writing on the wall there. So we're able to gain 3. We can't really lose the game because of the Gideon emblem anyway. So yeah, but the pact negation in our hand, they should have just tried to go after the Gideon there. All right, good game 2. Go. All right, do it to it. Let's keep it going. Keep the streak alive. Who's it gonna be? Alchemin. Welcome to the game. Ooh, what is this hand? 2 pact negations is not where we want to be. This is all right. We will keep. Slam down this Jeskai Triome. All right, well, and against this life gain deck. Right, again. Slam down this Triome with authority. With authority. Our opponent can't go super crazy. All right. I don't mind that. That was actually a pretty decent draw. We are going to...
This is a plane worth saving.
I guess we just go ahead and emblem, right? This will allow us to pact their 3-drop angel that they're going to play here. Like a win. They get in at the Gideon. Gideon still lives. Oh, that was a sick draw as well. We are going to... We can plus... Really want to get down this Lore Drakkis. An opponent really wants to concede the game. So we'll take that as a win, and we will move right on to the next game. But before we do that, I don't really know what the correct play would have been here. If this was 2 to cast and 3 to mutate, like if the costs were backwards, we would just slam this and then Lightning Helix, the Soul Warden first, I think. But here, I mean, we obviously plus a Gideon to probably prevent the Bishop, and then I think we just killed the Soul Warden, and then we packed whatever. I do think that's the line. And kind of just hope that we draw something going forward next turn. But yeah, either way, you know, opponent conceded pretty early on. So, all right, well, let's just hop into the next game, see if we can keep it going. Keep it going. Well, we seem to get it feels like one concession per video. I know a lot of people comment on that, so I mean, hopefully that's our one concession and we don't really get to see anything else too crazy. And hopefully we're able to actually do some things. And we're going to keep. We do get to potentially double opt. We also get to Lightning Helix. All right, I like where we are. The only thing I wish that this hand had was a Triumph for turn 1, because we have to play this as a red source since it's our only red source for our Arcanist. Can't be blocked, huh? Interesting. Really makes me want to play this Lightning Helix over this Dreadhorde Arcanist. Can't really opt anymore, so... Please don't have another one of those. Okay. Alright, well. Good news, everybody. Oh, perfect draw. Perfect draw. Get rid of that. Pay 2 life to opt. I don't think we want that. I do kind of want it, but I don't. Don't want to opt into another opt because we have another opt. So keep it going. We're going to be mutating next turn. All right. I think Gideon's a huge draw. Let's stopped. I'm like 99% sure they have a counterspell. I think we're gonna keep this. Yeah, I think this changes our plan. Don't need that. I think I'm gonna try to bait a counterspell out here. They don't have a counterspell. I'm going to be very surprised. All right, perfect. So we could have pacted that, made a emblem, But then that leaves us open to a bounce spell, which now we know they didn't have. All right, so I think what we have to do is I think we're going to hold the Gideon. I think we are just going to mutate. Definitely going to go over. And, oh. Well, speaking of concessions, yeah, it's pretty good. I do think we were probably just going to get back Gideon there. I really wanted to kill a Siren Storm Tamer, but I think we just get back Gideon and then hold up Pact, not attack. So, and then next turn we just kind of go crazy with the Lore Drakkis. But yeah. So, all right, on to the next game. Yeah, they were playing a modified, like a budget blue aggro builds, but I mean the really good blue aggro builds are pretty much budget anyway. So we're gonna keep, and I think we are gonna opt on turn 1. This is probably gonna make them think that we are on a like some kind of weird Azorius control deck or something along those lines. Definitely don't want another pathway there. That's pretty good. I'll take it. All right, now they got to start in with their burn, lightning strike, back into shock, steal it and sack it. Okay. The two burn spells for this is actually pretty good. So I would very much like to draw Gideon. Table passage doesn't do anything. Each player discards a card. What do we discard? As much as I don't want to discard that. Yep, okay. So again, the Lore Drakkis and the Dreadhorde Arcanist will give us a little bit of defense. Sure. That is the correct pull. But if we pull a Gideon, I think we're good. Okay. Yep, it's pretty good. Drawing 3 cards there is pretty good. Get this opts. Oh, good. Okay. Sure thing, my friend. Sure thing. Does not matter. We're gonna get back 2 cards. Will help for the discard that they're gonna be playing. Potentially give it indestructible if we need to. But yeah, can't really counter it right now, or we worry about dying to the oh, how I would love to block this. No blocks. We're gonna play Village Rites, probably their token here. Okay, they're gonna claim the Bomat. Okay. Oh, well, getting punished, right? Getting punished. Getting punished. That's a good target, right? That's a really good target. No blocks. I'm surprised you don't wait until next turn and then you actually get 2 cards off of that. Oh, that was pretty amazing. Sure.
Prepare to defend yourself.
Make an emblem. I really wish we had another land. And then I think what we do is go ahead and just kill the Pyromancer. Then we sit back and we have 2 counterspells. Yep.
Force my hand.
Season Pyro. I mean, they'll get to bring it back. Yeah, and the fact that we couldn't pay there. So, let's just get in, because we know we're going to take an extra turn here. Let's see what happens. See what we draw. Of course, we draw a land. If we're lucky. I can't say that. We get pretty lucky.
I've been waiting for this.
Do I attack? If we attack, puts him to 10. Gideon goes back down to 1. And start pushing Gideon on the fence. So we're not going to attack. We're not going to attack. And that might be wrong. That might be wrong. Yep, we had a feeling that was going to happen. We're going to counter that. No pay. Oh, beautiful. Perfect. So, Gideon is going to die. The 3. Oh, no. Calm down.
You'll have to get through me first.
We have to bluff something here. And the fact that we're really not drawing any burn, right? That was a great draw for them.
Bring it on.
Oh, wow. All right, deck, one time. Let's chain some stuff together. And by chain stuff together, I definitely meant that. So, prevent, block. Gideon dies regardless. Oh, I hate when people just sit there and emote.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, I think we were just a turn slow on when we hit the cards that we hit. know why you're attacking with the Dragon Range Channeler. So we block here. That's going to give them more tokens, so...
Retreat.
That would have been great earlier. Earlier. That was a pretty good draw from them, but knowing that they don't have village rights now, we're okay with. Now this gives us an opportunity to play this Sacred Foundry. That was a absolutely sick draw. Absolutely sick. Right. Cast Gideon. Gonna bring back this. Yep. Whew. So that was sick, right? They were definitely chaining some stuff together, but their cards really staggered in such a weird way that they just couldn't continue it. But I do think they were playing some suboptimal cards. Like, I'm not really sure what the miasmic mummies are in here for. This probably helps turn on Delirium in some way because they get to discard land and whatnot. But obviously these are going to be better suited as like Croxas or something along those lines. And the Inquisitions would be better as Thought Seizes. But it's very possible that our opponent doesn't have those cards. So either way, extraordinary. Good game. Just next time, please don't spam the your go. So, all right. Well, keep riding this wave. Playing its Nana. You go first. We have 2 packs. Good chance. We would just need... Oh, this is such a tempting... Right? So tempting. Don't think we can keep it though. This is better. Great. Not great. I really wish that would have... Always bolt the bird, right? Bolt the bird. This is probably wrong. I think we should be trying to get down this Vadrok next turn, which we can't do with this Triome. But just have faith in drawing an untapped blue source. Okay. You are not an untapped blue source, my friend.
Let's do this one-on-one.
They probably collected company here. They have to dodge a lot of cards. We have to dodge a lot of cards. Mainly a devil. Really don't want to see a devil. Okay. What sucks is they can kill... Oh my gosh. Well, that really sucks. Please only attack with that.
Aren't you full of surprises?
I mean, we can't block there. This puts counters that can get around. Yeah, I think we have to take land. Do I want another op? I think I do. I think the only way we win this game is if our opponent just completely misplays. They're taking it. Okay. Don't want another Gideon.
There is no shame in quitting.
So, like I said, I think we have to hope upon all things. So 3, 1, 2. Creature is indestructible now. Mutate. Let's see what happens. And they could just sack one of the ghasts. But we do get a Lore Drakkis into play. We do get to prevent damage.
Let's do this.
This is really risky. We could still pay for it, but I mean, we can't allow. I mean, if you have another one, you have another one, but yep. Nana gave us the whooping. Good game. Yeah, we cannot win this. I mean, Yawgmoth in itself is just a huge, huge deal for our deck. They could just sack Gilded Goose. Actually, they could just sack the one Shambling Gas to kill this. They get in for 2.
Bring it on.
Oh, I don't agree with that play. at all.
We still have a chance.
I guess it's the exact same thing. Now they hit us for 2. All right, we'll see a draw. Oh yeah, we have to pay. Auto pay. Ball. All right. Good game, my friend. Good game. Got us. Nana giving them stomps. Ooh. Gotta hate losing to your Nana, right? All right. One more game. One more game. Let's go. Window sitting there. There we go. Final boss. Nana stomped us. We have to get back. I just had this like image of the Tweety Bird's mom, you know, like the old lady just slinging some spells and just getting us really good. So we're gonna keep this awkward hand. If we need to, we can shock something in. I don't think we're gonna need to. I think we're just gonna play a Sacred Foundry. Tapped. Right, I guess I was wrong. We're gonna go ahead and start the perpetual ticking up of the static discharge. Okay. Like killing the elf here again prevents collected company this turn, but it doesn't really do much else, right? Yeah, we're gonna need some pretty good. That's a pretty decent draw. We could hit any other mutate spell. I think we'll be pretty good. Is that first strike? Okay. First strike is good. I had to double check that, right? I mean, Dwindling Elite served its purpose, right? It basically replaced itself. You went from having 4 creatures in play to 3 creatures. I'm assuming opponent just has a collected company here. Maybe we draw Opt. Opt lets us see an extra card. Like opt into another Vadrok would be really sick. Or opting into a our other mutate creature would be really good. Gideon would be really good. We'd actually start attacking if we get Gideon. Opponent's thinking about it. Opponent, please don't run away. Don't like. I really hope they didn't shame scoop because they attacked into a first striker. All right, well, our turn. Hack Negation is literally a dead draw against them because of the fact that we're gonna wait here. Us attacking is really gonna be based whether or not they time out or not. If they time out on us, we will play another game. I really don't want to be our first game back just against somebody who times out. This is all green spells can't be countered. Can't counter a collected company with this. Or we would. We knew that Gideon was on top. I'm not firing that off. No question. Alright, so we're just going to attack. They can't collect a company. I mean, if we take 6, we're at the same life total that they're at. If for some reason they hit 2 lords, we go to 7. Not the end of the world, and then we could potentially try to hit something with Chance for Glory, but don't think it's going to happen. I do think our opponent shame quit after Dwindling his elite swung into 3/3 first striker. I think they just closed the game and maybe had enough of it. But hey, again, you get to see the ins and outs of this. We get to our opponent potentially adds another rope concession to their stats that we maybe can't see, because I heard they have been actually sending out temporary bannings for roping. So all right, well, I did promise you one additional game since we had a roper quit, so let's go. One more game. All right, let's not play elves. Let's not play elves, and let's not have our opponent quit. That's what it's going to come down to. Let's go first. Oh yeah, I said it in time. All right. So what really sucks about this is not being able to opt. Our land's a little awkward. Let's see what we draw. Maybe we draw land here. Okay. All right. Did draw land. I do think playing the Arcanist gives us, you know, because we get the double opt, it's going to give us the best line against goblins. I really thought about killing this, but if they sack this to play a Lord or something here, we just get the really. Right, so let's opt. Opt till we drop. We're going to definitely draw that. And yep, we're gonna go ahead and kill this. Sure. Sack, sack, sack. Actually fizzles, okay. Interesting. Do we want another land? Well, we don't need another land. And pretty quick here. We've been war chiefed. Right. We are 100% going to kill this thing. Play a tap land. Swing in. Next turn. Want to sack those and play a Snoop? You definitely get ahead that way, right? So, all right. This is good. This is good. We are going to we're gonna opt. Let's opt. Maybe we draw a Gideon. Oh, this seems like a lot of damage, but we don't need it. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right, let's mutate. Oh, and the concession. Yeah, so what ends up happening here, right, is we get to cast a spell for 3. Gonna definitely be our Static Discharge. What happens from there is then we attack for 3. The Static Discharge gets another counter. We get to cast it again, but then at that point, what we're probably doing is we're probably just killing both of their creatures here, forcing them to cast this one. Next turn, we Lore Drakkis, and we just keep it going. And I don't think we actually can possibly lose the game from there. So pretty nutty. I think that was probably a valid concession. And I know I say don't concede too early, but I think the writing was on the wall there, especially with them knowing that, yeah, we're about to start doing some pretty nutty things. Sweet game. Let's talk about it. All right, everybody, welcome back to the wrap up. And this deck, honestly, does not surprise me. It crushed it again. This deck just kind of catches people off guard. And I'm super stoked that we got to play goblins at the end and actually just crush them to a point where they had to concede on, I think it was their turn 3, because they weren't able to do anything. And again, that was really in thanks to how the Static Discharge, recursion, I believe, with the whole mutate ability. I think that was really, really key. So it was great seeing that. It is unfortunate that we had a couple of concessions with one of them timing out. We actually had another game that we didn't even feature on here because it was another elves deck. It was a different person, but then on their turn 2 they just disappeared and didn't even come back. So did not even decide to include that one. Literally what they did is they cast a 2-drop elf and then never came back. Don't know what happened. So yeah, but this deck's great. Really, really, really love playing this deck. I do have a little bit of feedback though. So I do think there might be 1 or 2 too many land in the deck. I do feel like some of the games where we just drew too many land. So I do feel like I would make a very slight change to the deck. Very, very minor adjustment. I would personally cut 1 Pact of Negation, and then I would cut 1 of probably the Riverglade pathway, because white mana is very important since Gideon costs double white, and then the blue is less important because we don't necessarily need blue other than Opt and Lore Drakkis, and even at that point we don't necessarily need blue. So I'm probably going to cut 1 copy of Riverglide Pathway, 1 Pact of Negation, and I'm going to add in 2 Glorious Ends. So Glorious End is actually almost like Chance for Glory. So again, Chance for Glory allows us to take an extra turn, but Glorious End, what it does is it's a 3 mana instant, and it just says end the turn. At the beginning of your next end step, you lose the game. So in case you're curious how this works in our deck, what we potentially could do is, we maybe loop a couple extra turns together, or maybe we just need an extra turn. This is still an extra turn spell, because what we are able to do is we can put a reminder, like a stop, during our opponent's upkeep. We can cast Glorious End during their upkeep before they have a chance to draw, cast any creatures, attack, before they get a chance to do anything. We can just end their turn, and then it immediately becomes our turn, and then we just have to make sure that we have a Gideon with an emblem set up so we don't lose at the end of the following turn. So that could potentially be the turn that we need to get the ball rolling. Again, this deck really wants to cast a Chance for Glory on turn 3, and then immediately follow that up with a Gideon, immediately emblem it, and then just be able to say go. Because at that point you've ramped an additional land into play, which potentially just you're able to just outpace your opponent at that point, because now you have a Gideon that they have to deal with. If they don't have 3 power worth of creatures, and if they're not playing removal in their deck, that they can immediately get rid of the Gideon, then it's almost game over at that point. So yeah, there's a lot of versatility in this deck as well. We're able to counter spells, we're able to kill creatures, we're able to burn our opponents out, we're able to attack We're able to take turns. We're able to end turns if we add Glorious End into play. And I really think this deck should have probably included Glorious End, but I really wanted to try it without it this time. And I did make a conscious effort to actually not include it in the deck list. So yeah, I do think it just comes right back in. So it does basically give us 6 extra turn spells as opposed to just the 4 playing. Yeah, so that is this deck. Again, I really hope you enjoyed Return of the Titan. It's a fun deck to play, but again, very expensive build. There are a ton of mythics in here. Glorious Ends are mythics. Vadrok, Chance for Glory, Gideon, those are all mythics. You have a ton of rares. We have Pact and Negation, Lightning Helix, Dreadhorde Arcanist. All of our lands are rare. So again, a very expensive deck. Build at your own risk. Again, I only recommend you build decks if you have the cards, or if it's just something that you're, maybe working on playing. But again, the most important thing you can always ever do to help build your collection is always focus on land first, because the land, once you have the land, you'll be able to build so many more decks because you'll have all of this great land to build with. So yeah, that's the deck. That's Return to the Titan. Again, if you enjoy the deck, the channel, the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the links down below. Join the Discord. Any interaction to help out with the crazy YouTube algorithm that everybody's trying to defeat. The algorithm is the real final end boss of the Magic the Gathering videos for all of the content creators. So yeah, so if you've made it this far, let me know down in the comments below. That's all I ask. I mean, share the video if you want. That'd be amazing. That would actually help tremendously. But with that being said, everybody, please continue to stay safe. Please keep winning your games of Magic. We will see you next time.